only occupants of this cabin, Pete forgot how much he loved doing nothing. Maybe it'd be better if I were alone. My leather shoes felt colder than the floor, and they stuck to my feet. I wrapped a jacket around myself, blowing damp clouds from my mouth. Pete. Silence, broken only by the wind outside. That man couldn't even answer. I beat nothing. I let out a sigh and made my way towards the kitchen. The room still smelled stale. Pete couldn't even air it out. He didn't say anything, didn't even look up, still slouched in the chair, the same position as before. Damn it, Pete. I shot him an angry look, grabbed the matchbox, and rattled it. Nothing, only the dry rasp of cardboard and paper. I threw it Pete's way. Still, no reaction. I went to the basement and grabbed 2 new boxes. The dark orange flame slowly consumed the old newspaper. I built a small tower on top and watched it burn, sucking up the warmth from the flames and freezing my numb nose. Isn't this better, Pete? No answer. I looked up at him. The knife still lays on the table. Pete's head slouched over his shoulder. The smell of iron radiated off of him. His sweater was filled with stab holes and blood drying on it, changing its boring black to a new plethora of colors. He even had stab wounds on his face. I could barely remember stabbing that high. Oh, okay. I could feel the plastic texture of the knife's handle just by looking at it. His calmness as I stabbed it made my anger grow stronger. I almost felt bad, but then I saw the matchbox lying in front of him and realized he was nothing but a pain in the butt. His calmness was a burden on his cabin. How could he sit and do nothing all day and expect me to work for him? The anger rose from my chest to my throat. I had to take a few deep breaths not to stab him again. Pete, my dear Pete. I took the half-empty basket of logs outside. The sun's rays finally cut through the winter clouds. Today was going to be beautiful. I filled the basket and went back in, wiping my shoes on the doormat. There was still dirt on the floor. Pete never cared about anything, just sat there, staring at me. The room didn't smell stale anymore. I looked up from the basket. A wave of shock ran down my spine. His body was not there. I frantically looked around the room. Nothing, only the wind outside cut through the silence. Was it all a dream? But then I felt something on my shoulder. I closed my eyes. The hand was colder than the snow outside. Jacob, said the thing in a deep, static voice sounding like Pete. Blood froze in my veins. I could feel the shiver going up and down my body, but I still didn't answer. Can't you answer, Jacob? I slowly opened my eyes. Pete was back in the chair, sitting upright, eyes wide open, smiling ear to ear. Okay, so that was the first story. It's definitely creepy, but I think I would rate it like maybe a 5 out of 10. I don't know. I feel like it was set up to be creepy from the start. I feel like some of the best creepy stories are the ones where it's not the picture that's painted is like a normal day, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, something scary happens. Not that I'm like a spook critic or whatever, but that's just my opinion. Okay, let's look for another story. Okay guys, I found one from 21 days ago. It's called My Wife's Medical History Doesn't Sit Right With Me. Okay, let's see what this one is about. Okay. When I met my wife, she told me on our second My son is still coughing. I scheduled him a doctor's appointment, and for the first time, I'm scared of which diagnosis will make her feel better. Oh my goodness, that was really scary. I like that one because it's like, it kind of leaves like a lot of suspicion, because it's like, okay, well, like, is it the wife or is it just really crazy coincidences? We don't know. That would be really, really, really crazy and interesting. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, this one looks really interesting. This one looks really interesting. And I like the way it's written, spaced out, because I don't have my glasses on, so I can barely read. Okay, this next story is called "You Wouldn't Believe What Rich People Eat." What are you doing? Their coffee tastes like ass. Those were the first words I heard from a girl I would fall in love with. I was waiting for a cup of coffee from my local grocery store. "Come on," she said, and gestured to follow. I don't know why, but I did. I followed her for 5 blocks before I told her, "I think I'm gonna be late for work." "Shh." She held her fingers right up to my lips. "This is going to change your life." The little food truck she took me to did have the best coffee I've ever tasted. "You can thank me by buying me dinner, Joey," she said. I agreed. How did she know my name? We were on our 3rd date waiting for the spin dip when she told me, "You still don't remember me." I scavenged my mind and it hit me. Oh God, kindergarten. "Don't you remember? You called me Smelly Kelly." "I'm so sorry. I was just a stupid kid. I didn't mean to call." "Oh, it was 20 years ago. I have held a grudge, but I think you can make it up to me." The spin dip came out, and Kelly spent 5 minutes talking about how super it was. I loved listening to her go on like that. Not enough garlic powder, too much onion powder, the spinach was cold. "How do you know so much about food?" "I'm a chef." "Really?" She told me all about it. Her brief stint in the Michelin star restaurant, why she left, the abuse, all the places she worked since. "I'm a private chef now. Work for one client, real exclusive like." "What does that pay?" $200,000 a year." "Shut up. I'm serious. I'll prove it." For a fourth date, I stood outside what must have been the most expensive house I'd ever seen in my life. Behind a giant fence were elaborate head sculptures, elegant fountains, the works. "Are you sure it's alright we do this?" I asked her. "Come on, live a little dangerously." She explained that she had funds to purchase the rich dude all his meals. She was simply going to buy enough for me too and give me a taste of super wealthy extravagance. "But what if he finds us? Won't you get fired?" She looked at her watch. "He's never here during the day. It'll be fine, I promise." She opened the front door with the key, and my jaw practically hit the floor. I can't believe people live like this. My 1-bedroom apartment was starting to seem so depressing. In the kitchen, Kelly began preparing me a 5-course meal. Her specialty, she said. She kept glancing at her watch. The timing is important, she told me. She was captivating to watch. A ballet. Before I knew it, she put down a single spoon in front of me. Okay, y'all, she's saying something French. It's like amuse-bouche. So I don't know if I said that right, but amuse-bouche, she said. "Eat it in one bite." I had no idea what I was looking at, but put the spoon in my mouth. The flavors and textures were incredible. Salty, savory, with the bright hit of citrus at the end. I'm no foodie, but it was delicious. If I told you how much what you just put in your mouth cost, you would crap yourself. I didn't want to know. Every course after that was better than the last. A salad with an herbaceous dressing, a cold, rich soup that was smoky. The main dinner was some fish imported from the other side of the world, flown all the way here just to tantalize my taste buds. The best carrots I'd ever tasted. I thought I didn't like carrots. How wrong I was. The piece de resistance, she half yelled. the meal I had just eaten in order, and you smoked the links. Yes, I can taste it in his blood. Kelly, you've really outdone yourself this time. Just wait until dessert, she said. You know I have a sweet tooth. I was beginning to lose consciousness when the man holding me up exploded. Putrid blood and ashes covered me. I was weak and worse, stunk to high heavens. Kelly helped me get to my feet. Alright, let's get you to a hospital. You need a transfusion. What just happened? I had garlic in the ice cream. Clever, don't you think? And now we're even for all that smelly Kelly business. Our next date, I whispered. I get to pick where we go. Deal. Wow, guys, I really liked that one. That one was really good. And it's crazy how, like, there were two plot twists. The first one, the original plot twist, where we thought that Kelly was like the villain, and then the second one where Kelly actually ends up killing the person that she works for. I wonder why she did that. Like, I wonder why she decided to kill that person all of a sudden. And then the guy, he's like, oh yeah, our next date, I get to pick where we go. You still want to go out with Kelly? I don't know. I would have been scared. I would have told Kelly, listen, we don't need to see each other ever again, Kelly, because I don't know what you got going on. That's crazy, but that's really good. I rate that like a solid 8 out of 10 or a solid 8.9. It was really, really good. Okay, let's read one more spooky story. Okay, let's read this one called I'm Starting to Think I Should Have Never Adopted Tommy. Okay, I'm starting to think I should have never adopted Tommy. Tommy Parker was the runt of St. Agnes Orphanage. I fell in love with him instantly. While the other children played tag, Tommy kept to himself and drew. Usually that meant sketching 10-legged monsters or aliens from a distant galaxy, but occasionally Tommy would use his broken crayons to draw the people he loved the most. Thank you, Tommy. I absolutely adore it. Tommy drew a picture of us holding hands and smiling the day I adopted him, and I immediately hung it up on the refrigerator. Tommy was shy. He didn't say much except for please and thank you, but he always wore the brightest smile. The orphanage had very little info on his background, but I knew that he would open up eventually. With a little bit of patience and a healthy helping of kindness, I was certain that Tommy would embrace me as his new mom. It wasn't long before Tommy became attached to me, maybe even too attached. A child should love their mother after all, but his behavior seemed a little bit odd. For instance, Tommy started picking my outfits for me. That's funny. He especially liked to dress me in purple. At first, I thought it was adorable. Yeah, maybe it was strange for him to take such an interest in what a full-grown woman was wearing, but I hardly gave it a second thought. Until he started making snacks for me. Lots of unhealthy snacks, like a big bowl of ice cream with candy crushed and stirred in. Oh, Tommy, Mommy's not very hungry right now, I told him. But I made it just for you, Tommy smiled. How could I say no? Okay, I relented. Just a few bites. Thank you, Tommy said, and then added, we need to put some weight on you. Okay, that's a little creepy. When I asked him what he meant by that, Tommy returned to his old shy self, saying he didn't know why he said it. He clammed up, and I could barely get him to say another word for the rest of the night. All of that I could have ignored, but then one night I woke up and Tommy was kneeling over me with a pair of scissors in his hands. He managed to give me a half paw before I woke up. Tommy cried and tried to explain that he was just giving Mommy a trim, but for once I wasn't going to let him talk his way out of this. The hair would grow back, but what he did was dangerous. What if you accidentally cut Mommy? I asked. I was careful. What if you fell off the bed and landed on the scissors? I'm sorry. No, Tommy, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to punish you. I went to Tommy's room and opened the drawer where he stored all of his coloring supplies. some time to find someone who looked exactly like your mother, but I think I found the perfect candidate for her to possess, I said, and tousled Tommy's hair. All I ask is that your mom gives me a chance at letting us raise you together. Do you think she'll be okay with that? Tommy smiled. She says yes. Wow, guys, that was a really, really good one too. The plot twist was like crazy. I thought that she was taking Tommy in the basement to like kill him or something, but I guess she's just as crazy as Tommy and his mother. I rate that story a good solid 9 out of 10, maybe even a 9.5. I won't give it a 10 yet because I feel like I need